Later this afternoon, the Southwest Airlines heroes will meet with President Trump, including Tammy Jo Schultz, the former Navy pilot who heroically landed that plane with one engine. An astonishing feat worthy of public recognition. But consider James Shaw, the Waffle House hero. He was honored by the Tennessee legislature, but he still has not gotten an Oval Office invite. Parkland shooting survivor Emma Gonzalez called Shaw my hero on her Twitter feed, but nothing on Mr. Trump's very active page. By all accounts, James Shaw is reluctant to call himself a hero, but he did put his own life on the line to save others. So why isn't the president recognizing that as well? Caitlin Huey-Burns is a Nashville politics reporter from Real Clear Politics, and John Murray is an entertainment and pop culture expert. Welcome to both of you. So John, I just find this curious. I think that the Southwest Airlines heroes deserve all of the recognition. They certainly deserve an invite to the White House. But in my mind, so does James Shaw. So why isn't he already there?
Well, Carol, if I could quote Donald Trump's new BFF, Kanye West, some might say Donald Trump does not care about black people. He actually, instead of having a guy like James Shaw Jr. come to the White House, he might be having his team try to set up a meeting with Frederick Douglass, someone who he said is getting more and more attention despite the fact he died in 1895. I think Donald Trump sees James Shaw as the opposition of everything that he stands for. You know, he has to address gun control when you support James Shaw Jr. You have to address the fact that black men can be positive when you have to support a James Shaw Jr. And this is a man who was able to stop an armed man with a semi-automatic rifle despite the fact that he was unarmed, which means that we don't need teachers and everybody else having guns in schools. So James Shaw Jr. is a problem for Donald Trump, and that's why he's not publicly embraced him, despite the fact having the White House send a statement to him.
Caitlin, is that why Mr. Trump hasn't made more of Mr. Shaw and his heroic efforts inside that Waffle House? Because as you know, Mr. Trump is expected to talk before the NRA on Friday.
Well, certainly. You can point to examples in the past in which the president has highlighted people that do fit either his agenda or his belief system, or speak to things that he has been talking about himself. As you mentioned, the pilot in this situation on the Southwest Airlines flight, extremely worthy of recognition, no doubt. And we don't know yet whether the White House might, in fact, extend more invitations. But we also know that the president is very active on his Twitter feed and would have ample opportunity to, if not invite this person to the White House, at least perhaps tweet about it as well, especially since on Friday the president did tweet about Kanye West and his contributions, he said, to the African American community, which the president talks a lot about, trying to tout numbers he says are exemplary of his agenda in the black community, which are often disputed.
So John, the president is recognizing Kanye West, who is outspoken in his support. Like, I don't know what James Shaw's politics are, but maybe the president is afraid that James Shaw will say no, and it'll just be embarrassing.
James Shaw is an American hero, and Donald Trump has shown, even when he was having the people parade up into Trump Tower before he moved into the White House, that he's more comfortable around rappers, comedians, and boxers, and boxing promoters, if you want to include Don King. That's what makes Donald Trump comfortable. He doesn't want to meet with black civil rights leaders and social justice leaders. He barely wants to meet with the Congressional Black Caucus. He was trying to get White House reporter and CNN contributor April Ryan to set up that meeting. So Donald Trump doesn't care about the narrative of a James Shaw Jr. Donald Trump is only concerned about what Donald Trump is concerned about.
Do you think that's true, Caitlin?
Well, look, I'm a political reporter, and so I'm monitoring the president's actions and what he talks about and what he doesn't talk about. So I can't say what's actually in his mind. But look, he has come under criticism, of course, for the way he has talked about different people. And he has talked a lot about, at least during the campaign trail, what he would do for African Americans. And he always said that controversial line of "what else do you have to lose?" that seemed to turn off a lot of people. But he continues to talk about that, and he references Kanye a lot over the past few days, and I think that actually speaks more to this idea of the president wanting to be kind of accepted by the celebrity culture that has been very critical of him and denigrated him, so I think it's more about that than it is the African American community. But certainly noteworthy because the president is a prolific tweeter. He could say whatever he wanted to about this situation. Many have weighed in on this situation and praised Shaw as a hero.
Absolutely. I have to leave it there, but of course we'll be following the Southwest Heroes as they make their visit to the Oval Office later this afternoon. Caitlin, Huey-Burns, John Murray, thanks so much.